Imagine living a life where the fast-paced, technology-driven world is just a distant reality, where community, simplicity, and tradition form the bedrock of existence. Sounds fascinating, right? Welcome to the world of the Amish and the Mennonites. But what exactly sets these two groups apart? Today, we'll dive deep into the Amish versus Mennonites. What's the difference? The confusion between the Amish and the Mennonites is common, and it starts with how these groups are perceived. When you hear Amish, a clear image often comes to mind: men with beards and straw hats, women in bonnets and plain dresses, all riding in a horse and buggy. But when someone mentions Mennonite, the picture gets fuzzier because this group is incredibly diverse. Let's break this down. The Amish are known for their strict adherence to a lifestyle that shuns modern technology. They avoid cars, electricity, and many conveniences we take for granted. The image you have of the Amish, a community living simply and sticking to age-old traditions, is generally accurate. On the other hand, the term Mennonite can refer to a broad spectrum of people. Some Mennonites live very much like the Amish, using horse and buggy for transportation and wearing plain clothing. These are the Old Order Mennonites. But other Mennonites are indistinguishable from the average American, using modern technology, driving cars, and dressing like everyone else. This diversity within the Mennonite community makes it difficult to pin them down with one image. In fact, while some Mennonites might appear just like their Amish neighbors, others might be working in tech companies, driving to work in modern cars, and living in suburban homes. So where do these groups come from? And why are there such differences? Both the Amish and the Mennonites trace their roots back to the Anabaptist movement of the 16th century. This movement began in Europe during the Protestant Reformation, advocating for adult baptism, a radical idea at the time. The Anabaptists faced severe persecution for their beliefs. The Amish and Mennonites emerged from this Anabaptist tradition, but split due to different views on how to practice their faith. The Amish, named after Jacob Ammon, a leader who emphasized stricter adherence to traditional practices, chose to live separately from the broader society to maintain their way of life. Over time, even within the Amish, there were divisions. Some groups became more progressive, adopting certain technologies, while others, like the Old Order Amish, remained committed to their traditional ways. Mennonites, on the other hand, were more open to engaging with the outside world. This openness led to a wide range of practices within the Mennonite community. Today, you'll find Mennonites who live very simply, much like the Old Order Amish, and others who are modern professionals, fully integrated into society. Now let's get into some specific differences. One of the most notable differences between the Amish and the Mennonites is their approach to technology and modern conveniences. As we mentioned, the Amish are famous for rejecting modern technology, including cars, electricity, and even indoor plumbing in many cases. Mennonites, especially those in more progressive branches, often embrace technology. They might use computers, drive cars, and have fully modern homes. However, conservative Mennonites, like the Old Order Mennonites, still use horse and buggy, wear plain clothes, and limit their use of technology. Clothing is another area where you can spot differences. Amish clothing is strictly regulated by their community's rules, known as the Ordnung. They wear solid-colored clothing with no buttons, only hooks and eyes, and men grow beards once they marry, but never mustaches. Mennonite clothing can range from similarly plain to entirely modern. Then there's the language. Both groups traditionally speak Pennsylvania Dutch, a dialect of German. However, in more modern Mennonite communities, English is the primary language, with Pennsylvania Dutch used mainly among older generations. Worship practices also set these groups apart. Amish worship services are held in homes or barns, rotating among community members, and are led by lay ministers without formal theological training. Mennonites, particularly the more modern ones, have churches with trained pastors, much like mainstream Protestant denominations. Despite these differences, there are areas where the Amish and Mennonites overlap. For instance, Both groups emphasize community and mutual aid. They often come together for barn raisings, quilting bees, and other communal activities that reinforce their tight-knit community bonds. Education is another common ground. Amish children typically attend one-room schoolhouses run by their community, only up to the 8th grade, after which they are expected to work on the farm or in the home. Mennonite education varies, with some children attending public schools and others attending private Mennonite schools. Now you might wonder how these groups interact with each other. In areas like Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, you'll find Amish and Old Order Mennonites living side by side, attending the same auctions, and even playing recreational games like corner ball together, a traditional game somewhat like dodgeball. Their cultural proximity often leads to joint community projects, such as shared schools in some places, where Amish and Mennonite children learn together. Despite their differences, they respect each other's ways of life and often cooperate on practical matters. But the differences are not just in lifestyle and technology. The theological differences also play a role in how they view their place in the world. The Amish are more separatist, believing that maintaining a distinct, plain lifestyle helps preserve their faith and values. Mennonites, especially the more progressive branches, believe in engaging with the world to live out their faith through service and outreach. This difference in worldview impacts how each group participates in broader society. For example, Mennonites have a long history of involvement in peace and social justice issues, often working with international aid organizations. The Amish, while also caring deeply for others, focus more on their immediate community and maintain a more insular way of life. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on the broader significance of understanding these communities. The Amish and Mennonites are not just historical relics, but living examples of how deeply held beliefs can shape every aspect of life, from the clothes people wear to the way they interact with the world around them. In our fast-paced, constantly connected society, their commitment to simplicity, community, and faith offers a unique perspective. It reminds us that there are many ways to live a fulfilling life, and not all of them involve the latest technology or the rush of modern conveniences. By learning about these groups, we open ourselves up to new ways of thinking about progress, tradition, and what it means to live with purpose. So next time you see a horse and buggy on a country road or a family gathered for a simple meal, you'll have a deeper understanding of the choices behind those scenes and the values that drive them. To sum it up, the Amish and Mennonites share a rich history and many core beliefs, but their approaches to life and faith have led them down different paths. The Amish are known for their strict separation from the modern world, while the Mennonites are a diverse group, some of whom live similarly to the Amish, while others fully embrace modernity. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation about the Amish and Mennonites, you'll be equipped to explain not only their differences, but also the fascinating nuances within each group. Their stories are a testament to the enduring power of faith and community, no matter how it's expressed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into unique cultures and lifestyles. See you next time.